So as we continue now, I'm going to do two more kind of main things just to kind of explain these triggers and how an object can not only talk to a component on itself, like the audio source, but how can it talk to another object somewhere else. So let's say we want to do something like keep the score of the goal, right? So how do we do that? So let's create a game object, 3D object, and then there should be 3D text in there somewhere. You should see it. And it'll say something like hello world, and probably backwards. So just rotate it, yeah. And you know, instead of hello world, just put 0. That's like the value. Now, if it's a little pixelated, the way that you fix that is, and this is standard how it always comes. You want to change the font size, which is 0 right now, and change it to like font size. It's like right at the bottom. Change it to like something like 36 or something like that. It's gonna make it very big, and then the character size, you want to change it to like 0.2 or something like that. The character size, yeah. Yeah. Now, work your camera a little bit, because I have a feeling that it's really close to you, or really far. Yeah. So you want to put it like kind of like right above the goal. Maybe center it or whatever. So just change that new text name, change it to score, something like that. The name of it, I mean the name of the object itself. It's called new text. Yeah, just change it to score or whatever. Now, if you notice, if you click on the score, right, you see that it has a component called text mesh. We just click the score. So now if we wanted to change the text to say 1, 2, 3, we have to find that component, text mesh, and change its text value. You see? So in theory, our code will look something like text mesh.text is equal to, and then our score. Yeah. So the first thing before we do any of that is we need to actually keep the score, and
every time every time the trigger happens.
So right now, we're doing it kind of all in the net. A more complex project, you would probably do it, in a separate object that just manages the score or something like that. But for now, we could just keep this simple. And just up here in on trigger play sound, just make an int, so an integer. Call it score is equal to 0.
Public?
Doesn't have to be public. Oh yeah, sure, why not? If you want to see it from the editor. Public int score is equal to 0. And then on trigger enter, if game object tag is ball, right after the play sound, you want to do score plus comma. Semicolon. Or you could do score is equal to score plus 1. Same shit. But plus works. So now that number, if we go over here now, we press play, and I push my ball through, it won't yet update the text, but in my net script, the score will have updated. And you don't have to test that yet. We can just do the text right away. So then the other thing that we want to do is up here in public int score, right under it, we want to pull a public text mesh, like that. So it's the same as what it was over there, and call it, my text, and then just semicolon. Now go back into the editor and find our net, and then drag our score object into where it wants a text mesh. Yeah, so the new text that you have, so you want to drag that into the net. So you want to click the net, and then you drag that down there. So just pull it. You could kind of pull your component to the edge there, and it'll kind of start to pull it down. It doesn't do that? That's weird.
Right, so then that way.
Oh, there it is. There it is. So just pull it. No, don't click. Pull. See, now you're back. It's okay. It takes some getting used to it.
Wait.
Pull it down with the scroll. Keep it there. Don't click. Just pull. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Now back to our script. So now we linked that text mesh that we made now, right? So now all we have to do is after we do this score plus plus, we do my text dot text is equal to score. And then since it's an integer, it might give us an error, so I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna, to make sure, I'm gonna do score dot toString. There's a function called toString, and it expects an open parentheses, close parentheses, because it's a function. And save that, yeah. So now if you try pulling the ball through,
Yeah, it's working.
right? Very simple, right? There it is. Now the ball, again, let's make the ball kinematic, because so it doesn't bounce around like crazy like that. And then you can really do this, right? There it is.
Where's the kinematic?
So it's right there on the rigid body. Just make it kinematic, and now the ball won't bounce around like crazy anymore. It'll.
Oh yeah.
You pulled it back.
Oh, can you just make the body back to where it was? Every time after the thing happens?
It would take a little bit of more extra effort to kind of reset the orientation of the ragdoll. You could technically just make a new ragdoll every time something happens.
And then there would just be a lot of bodies.
Well, no, you can delete the old ones.
Oh, okay.
So there's ways of doing that.
Okay.
We're not going to get in too much into that, but yeah, I would probably do it because right now the ragdoll is always here, but I would probably instantiate like we did in a previous lesson. I would instantiate a ragdoll. So the meaning like I create the object at runtime from a prefab. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then maybe after 5 seconds, I reset everything back to normal, and then every time it happens like that.
Yeah.
The other major thing that I wanted to cover is how to do multiple animations. So, say we have an animation right now. Technically, when the ball hits the guy, he kind of goes full ragdoll mode, but let's say we want an animation for him when the goal is scored, and maybe he's like, oh, damn it, I'm pissed or something like that. I don't know. So say if we go on Mixamo, or you know what, maybe we could even just use the dance animation technically. So that could be fine. So just enable the animator. Okay.
For the.
Yeah.
Okay.
And over here, actually, this won't work because we need a neutral animation. The problem is with our character is that he's doing all the crazy dancing. This is the only animation we have. So let's just go on Mixamo really quick and just get what we need. And you're just gonna need the animations this time, not the characters. So you just select, just search for an idle one, like an idle. Just or search for a ready one. Let's call it ready. Scary clown Adam. I don't know. Don't spend too much time on it. This one looks fine to me. So just one, like Scary Clown Idol or something like that. It kind of looks like a goalie, I'd say. That one.
This one?
Yeah. So add to pack, not add to my asset. And then get another one for like cheer or something like that. Like cheer. As like second one where he looks kind of like, I'm not sure if he's happy or not happy.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, or you could do this, I don't know. That was fine. Yeah, so just add to pack. And once you have both of them, just add to my assets. Please sign up, log in. Oh, come on. Do this again. Add to pack. Ready. Okay.
That character takes a lot of time to process. Let me find that.
I think, I don't know, mine does it quicker because I think because I'm subscribed. Yeah.
So that's, this is fine, right? And then you download, or,
It's already doing it. I saw you. Download. I think Q download.
wait, this is,
Yeah, it's good. Q download with FBX for Unity. Yeah, and that's just a character now. But this was it.
no, there's something else. Sorry. Let me just,
Go to my animations. No, not my animations. Go to out of there and go to just animations, not my animations. Just there, and then select a cheer. That one.
the back,
Add to pack, yeah.
and then ready.
Yeah. Scary clown ready. Yeah, that one. Add to my assets. Q download. Yeah, that should be it now. Good. So animation pack. So when that's ready, you just download it. Yeah. And then just, unzip those files. And just pull them into Unity once it's done. Fix now? Yeah. So once you have that, then, so is that all? Why don't you select all of them at the same time?
It doesn't let me do that.
Come on, really?
Really? Okay.
Alright, so, yeah, don't pull the character in. Go to your character's controller. So click your character in the scene view. In the scene view, your character. The character that you want to animate, right there, that guy, or that guy, yeah. And then double click the controller, because we want to change the animations.
Oh.
So now that we're in here, just delete the dance one. Just delete it. And pull in the ready one. The scary clown idol, or no, we want him to be the scary clown idol. Double click it to make it loop time, apply, scroll down and apply. Okay, now if you just go back to the scene real quick, make sure your animation is enabled, and always just click on the character. That's, you clicked on something else, just always just check, what do you have selected? You have the net, see? So it always kind of fixes the confusion. Yeah, and then it's still doing this. Mine at least. I don't know if yours will. Let me see if yours does that. It's just the animation isn't meant for. Yeah, so it's the animation isn't meant for that character.
Just put in this other color.
No, but there's a way to do this stuff. So I know there's a way.
Oh, because then you gotta do everything again.
No, I'm gonna figure it out. I know there's a way. There it is. Okay, so this is what you do. So you have to, yeah, just get rid of that. So you have to go to your original character's object, wherever it is. So I don't think it's that one. I think it's probably in characters folder. I don't know where we put it.
Oh, it's this one.
That's its materials. Where is the? Oh, is it that? No. Quickest way to do it is to click up here and then just to open that. Click like something like the meshes. You just click that object. Now click something in there, and click one of these, like the mesh, and is that it? I guess that's the character. Click it. Oh yeah, it is. I don't know why it looks like a sphere. So yeah, just go into rig. So every animation that comes in has to be rigged. Now, it's using generic for all of them. We want to use humanoid.
Okay.
So that's all you want to do. And
So
then,
if you just do for one, works for everything.
so this model now is a humanoid. Now you need to do the same thing with the animation. The scary clown idol, also make it humanoid. And then it does an automatic like humanoid retargeting. So we did that for all of them, and now it should, since they're both, it's a humanoid animation and a humanoid person,
Yeah.
it's good now. Yep. So yeah, so just back to our animator, and you can just click the animator. It's right there as well. So press play. And now what we want to do is we want to pull in that cheer animation. So this I'm just going to teach you how to do a second animation. So pull in the cheer somewhere, yeah, like that. Now we want to make the connection, but it's going to be a conditional connection. So it'll only cheer
If the colliding happens.
something happens, exactly, yeah. So, yeah, so here's what we do, right? So over here we see layers, you want to click parameters. So every animation controller can have a list of parameters, like, you know, probably better than just watch the video later. The screenshots might be a little confusing unless you're annotating. But yeah, so the parameters is basically a set of conditions. In this instance, we're just going to make one parameter. If you press plus there, and make like a bool, like a boolean, true or false, and then just click and make that like called, I don't know, cheer. So if cheer is true, then, you know, so here's what we're going to do. So the scary clown idol, we're going to right click that and make a transition to the cheering. And then you're going to click the arrow that's between them, and we're going to set a condition. So you see over here, we have a bunch of settings here. The first thing before doing that is I want you to take this, see the timeline, what I'm doing with it? I'm making it all the way at the beginning, just so that it doesn't take so long to animate from one to the other. Like if you just pull this up here, you can see how, oh wait, what? I forgot to make my cheering animation humanoid. Okay.
What did you do with this?
Just follow me. It's very simple. It's nothing too crazy. I didn't do anything with it. It looks exactly the same as yours. Just so you can understand, if you scale this up, you can see here, if you press play, you can see the preview of your animations. See? Switching from one to the other. So this timeline is the amount of time it takes for it to blend between one animation and the other. So just, you know, make that small. Like put it, yeah, like so you don't need it to take too long to start cheering. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fine how you have it right now. And just uncheck that has exit time. What has exit time basically means is it going to wait for the animation to finish and then do the next one, or does it do it at the moment the condition is met? So So we want no exit time. And then down here, if you just scroll down a little bit, you can actually make this smaller. So you don't have to see that anymore. So conditions, list empty. Just make a condition there, and it'll already tell you cheer. So cheer true. That's it.
Yeah.
So if you had more conditions here, you could select, you can pick and choose. So you might have cheer, you might have, like dead, you might have like, I don't know, like a bunch of them. Depends on your character, depends on your scene. But this is like a very simple way to just tell it. The animator basically, whenever this is checked here, that animation will go here. So now what we need to do is we actually need to check that true in script somehow. So now on our on-trigger play sound script, right? Right under text mesh, I'm gonna make another public animator. And I call it like my character. Something like that. Semicolon. And I save that. And I'll go back into the Unity view. And yeah, in there, you're gonna select your character, your net. And then you're gonna just scroll down, or you can do that, and then pull your character into where it says none animator. So
Put this character?
yeah, the character that has the animation you want. Yep, just like that. So now we made the connection. So now our net knows where our sound effect is, our net knows where our scorekeeper is, and our net knows which character is, right? Yeah. So everything you do in the net script now, basically, you can kind of affect all of these other game objects. So that's basically the principle of it. Is you make things, if you make things public like this, you can then access them from another script, from another game object. So just really quick, on trigger play sound, right after we make the text, what we make it, we're gonna do my character dot set bool. So you see there's set float, set bool, set, so that's corresponding to whatever your parameter type is. If your parameter is a float or an integer, you would do set float. In this instance, we're doing set bool, and then open parentheses, so it wants the name of the parameter and the value. The name of our parameter is, what do we call it, cheer?
Cheer,
yeah, so, just type cheer, and then close the quotes, and then comma, and then true. Just like that.
Okay.
And now if you press play, so he should be ready to goalie it, and then, so don't hit him, hit beside him, and there he is. Well, you don't have an animator. Well, you're not playing.
Alright.
It's good. Yeah, you weren't playing.
I want the ball. Okay. Oh, nice.
You get it?
Yeah. The sound like. Oh, yeah.
Animation stopped because we didn't make it loop. Remember how to do that, right?
Yeah.
You just double click it in there and you just can loop time. You can also always get to this animation just by actually clicking the file there too. But just, if you just double click it. If you just click it, it'll only tell you the conditions in the animation. If you double click it, then it takes you to the file itself. So you want to go to animations. Yeah. Scroll down and then loop time. Yep. Apply.
Okay.
Yeah. And then go to scene. And that's it. Like if you just, hit not the guy. For some reason he's happy. That's cool. But that's the basic gist of it. So all this stuff, could be used in VR. Now, a game like this could be done in many different ways. But for the next part, we're actually going to get into more of the player as a VR player,
Yeah.
going around, interacting with objects
Yeah.
and setting things off and then moving himself along in the world. But this is like a great little tutorial for like, you know, a little bit more what's a trigger, so you gotta get what the difference between them is.
Yeah.
Collider and a trigger. And now components, right?
Mhm.
They're starting to become a lot more familiar.
Yeah.
Now they're like, you see everything that you have here in Unity, this whole side, each of those is a type of component,
Yeah.
and it can all be accessed through scripts.
Yeah.
And how about just for like a little bonus, because you asked earlier if you wanted to do the camera thing. So if you have multiple cameras,
Yeah.
and you wanted to switch between cameras, let's say we do like a go camera. So
Yeah.
the moment it goes in, like,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
So let's do our first camera. We'll put it like front and center, like you have it already good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same with mine. Yep. And then we'll create a new camera,
How do you create?
just game object, camera. Now that camera becomes the default. It's always the last camera that you create that becomes the one in the scene. So just take that one and place it, like maybe, you know, like to the behind it or to the side, or I like to put it like to the side. Something like that. It's up to you how you want to do it. Now, if you had to guess, it's basically the same turning on and off.
Mhm.
So we're going to turn this camera off, the one we just created.
Where's
That's the
oh,
one.
That's
Yeah.
the main camera.
That's the main, yeah, and that one. Yes, that one. Just turn it off
Turn.
over there. Just the game object, yeah.
Okay.
And then
So it's,
we're going to do the same thing, you know, in the net in this instance, but you might do it somewhere else later. You go right after public animator my character, you do public game object, you know, other camera. Just together, other camera. Yeah, and then right after my character set boolean, you're gonna do other camera.
right.
Just
Oh,
after the on trigger, other camera dot set active parentheses true.
oh.
Now, if you ever, you know, forgot how to do this again, you know, like completely, just, you know, and you don't have access to any of the videos or anything, you can literally just look it up, like, you know, how do I enable game object in Unity?
Okay.
And it'll show you like activating game objects, and then in there it'll give you this. Okay, they have a video.
Mm.
You know, screw that. It's even simpler. Second one, right there. See, it has a little snippet of code right there. Game object that's set active,
Mm.
false or true. Just
Okay.
if you forget, you can
Okay.
literally Google it in plain English. If you just know what you're looking for, I want to enable a game object. I want to disable a game object. That's how you would do it. So yeah, before you press play, we still need to link the camera to the
Oh.
net. So if you just click the net and you go scroll down to get to the part, yeah, and just put, you might not have saved your script,
Oh, yeah,
yeah. And then you click the net, yeah, and then pull the new camera that's disabled in there, yeah, and then that should just work. Try it.
What, squatting room? It isn't.
Yeah, wow. We can take some.
You'll be recorded.
okay. Oh, no.
See?
Um,
Get it?
yeah,
And then you can do 5 of those, 6 of those.
yeah. Just
I'm
triggers.
assuming since you're trying to do it like a music video,
Yeah.
do it on a time, on that timer, remember? So as the time,
So-
so if time is, I don't know, after 10 seconds, switch the second camera, turn off the first
Oh,
camera.
From the last class.
Yeah, what I'm saying, like if you
Okay.
wanted to, because you were
Okay,
saying you wanted
yeah.
to do a multiple camera
Yeah,
shots.
Yeah, so I just have a list of time.
Basically,
Frames.
and then just make sure you enable and disable all the right cameras.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I just have camera 1, 2, 3, maybe.
And then each time a time changes, you disable 2 of them and you enable 1 of them.
Okay, so how do I start the whole thing? So I put the music in, right? And everything's set with the music time.
Yeah, I mean it's not we hard coded the time. Remember, it's all in that audio data
Yeah.
script. In there is where you edit it. If you need to reference back, you could watch the class
Yeah.
video and just skim through it.
Yeah, and you, like, last class you taught us how to, like, put in, like, the VR thing. But that's just, like, a VR view of the...
Of anything basically. It's
You can just turn around, but you can walk around.
You can't walk around. No, the walking around we're doing in the next one. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's just, like, you can just do, like, a 360 of
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You kind of just put it in the middle and have everything kind of happen
Yeah.
around it.
Okay, and, but, so how do so basically the camera view is what I want people to see, but people can still, like, turn around based on the camera.
hmm
Okay.
They can look around. Yeah, it's
Okay.
360 degrees. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay. I'm gonna try to
So think about like the camera view in your instance.
Mhm.
Maybe isn't multiple cameras. Maybe it's multiple locations.
Mm.
So that's slightly different.
Yeah.
I was assuming you wanted multiple cameras. What you actually want is you want to teleport the player
Yeah.
in another place when after X amount of times. So he's like here, and the next moment he should be like here, and then next moment he's like from watching from there, right?
Yeah.
In an instant.
Mhm.
So the way you literally do that is you just change the transform position.
The camera, the XYZ.
The camera or
Yeah.
the cardboard
Yeah.
player or whatever to a new vector
Mhm.
something.
Yeah.
And you can check that in Unity where you
Okay,
want the
yeah.
vector. Or you could, if you're moving around objects, you can do, that object's position.
Mm.
And you can get that object up here as a public and drag it in. So say you have like 5 positions that you want.
Mhm.
Oops. So, that's like one of them, for example.
Mhm.
You can make a public game object position 1
Mm.
and then drag that as your position 1. And then when the movement happens, you just do transform position is equal to position 1's position.
Mm.
That's one way of doing it. If you want to keep like tweaking it.
Oh.
Or you can literally copy and paste the numbers off of this.
Yeah.
That's another way of doing it on a time.
Mm.
So then, like after 10 seconds, you're looking at it from the mountain.
Okay.
After 5 seconds, you're like
Okay.
in between all the
What about
dancers.
the angle and stuff?
Technically, you can't really do angle because it's VR. If people look around,
Oh, yeah. that's
the only thing you could really do in those instances is you control the world. You rotate the world around them. You make them front facing. That's a little bit more advanced.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean that's
Okay.
pretty much it. So yeah, we reviewed homework.
Mhm.
We did advanced physics concept, ragdoll physics, multiple animation states, triggers and colliders, event scripting, sound scripting. I'd call it component scripting too. I guess we really went deeper into that. Yeah, and then we'll get even more,
Okay.
a little bit in depth with it, and we'll review all these things.
Yeah.
But best review is to just watch the after class video.
Okay.
All right.